Welcome back, everybody. In the kitchen with Christine, the happy cookie lady. Always so great to see you, Christine.
You too.
Had a good summer?
Oh yeah, you?
Yes, it was wonderful. It flew by. Everyone says that, but it really did. This one did. Christine, of course, is known for her amazing cutout cookies, which make people happy. You name a shape or a theme, and she's got the cookie cutter for it. I always ask you, because you always keep adding more, about how many cookie cutters?
I added about 20 over the summer, so we're probably at about 620, 625.
Wow, just a few. 625
every time we
cookie
go
cutters.
Someplace, I seem to find cookie cutters.
Oh,
just
yeah.
when you think you got every one you could use.
Too funny. So whether it be a shower, a birthday party, a wedding, any kind of occasion, she'll bake the cookie for us. She brought us along some fall inspired cookies. Very,
some
very
of
nice.
our fall flavors. We've got the pumpkin spice frosting right now, the maple flavored on the maple leaves, lemon and orange dreamsicle. So those are some of the fall.
Very fun, and she'd be happy to bake for you, deliver, whatever the occasion. So we are going to talk, we're not going to bake cookies right now. We are going to make a chocolate zucchini cake, and tis the season for loads and loads of zucchini.
And since hubby retired, he expanded our vegetable garden.
So you have a lot of it too,
yes.
Huh? I love zucchini, but there comes a point where there's a lot of it, and you don't want to be, maybe you can get zucchinied out,
yes,
I guess is the word. So, we grill it, we roast it, we saute it. But it's really fun to kind of tuck it in desserts so you don't even know it's zucchini, and it's good for you, and it really can add a lot of moisture to muffins and cakes and things like that. So chocolate zucchini cake. So I'm going to get to work on, you want me to shred up this zucchini?
Yeah, this on the smallest.
Okay.
Yeah, probably
okay.
that size.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to start up the dough. Now, how many times have you started baking something and realized that you forgot to take the dough out to soften it?
The butter, yes.
You know what works really good for that?
What?
You do the same thing that you're doing there. You grate it on your old box grater.
Really?
On the big biggest hole there, and it makes it smaller, and it softens much quicker.
Yeah, because sometimes it's very scary to put it in the microwave.
Oh, that never works.
Yeah, it's very hard to do that.
Yeah, you end up with melted butter.
Yep.
And then I'm going to add the sugar to that.
So softened butter, sugar.
Softened butter, sugar, and some vegetable oil.
Okay.
Get that going. Now normally before I start this recipe, I do this part. This recipe calls for buttermilk or sour milk.
Okay.
And I don't usually have buttermilk on hand.
I don't either.
It's like a half cup of sour milk. So what you do is you take your milk and you add, it's usually a tablespoon to a cup. So since this is going to be a half cup, I added 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice.
Okay, to our Lamer's milk there, and all of a sudden you kind of got what buttermilk is going to taste like.
Yeah, and you kind of let it sit for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
But because we don't have that much time, I won't
do
that with this one. Got a couple of beaten eggs.
So what I'm looking around, and most of the ingredients I've got on hand, and that's why I like this recipe. It's not like you have to run to the grocery store. Most of the stuff I already have.
Most of the spices are probably in your Christmas baking rack, the cinnamon and the cloves.
Right.
Most of us have cocoa powder in the cupboards. And
this is great on a Sunday when you're kind of craving a dessert and
want something different.
Yeah,
want to use up some more of that zucchini.
Yeah.
I got the 2 eggs that I'm going to put in there.
Okay.
And then we've got a little bit of vanilla.
Okay.
I love these little cups for doing those. And one thing my biggest tip is measure the stuff out before you start, because the phone is going to ring or something is going to happen. You're going to forget where you're at.
Yes.
I mean,
True.
even in the bakery, I do that. I will not answer the phone if I'm mixing dough.
Yeah.
Now, I don't always like to use the pan because, the spray, just because I get migraines easily, and that aerosol that's in there a lot of times will trigger a migraine.
So you're using actually...
I use shortening with a sandwich bag to grease the pan.
That's a great tip or trick.
Or if you run out of the cooking spray. And
what's a great one too is if you're using butter or margarine, the paper that comes in the wrapper, that's a great way to grease.
My grandma always had a container of empty butter wrappers in her refrigerator waiting for when she bakes. They didn't have all those cooking sprays.
That's a great idea.
Whenever she opened up one, she had it in there.
Because, normally you just throw them out. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to take the dry ingredients, which is the flour.
Okay.
And we've got some salt, baking soda, baking powder.
Okay.
The cinnamon.
And nutmeg.
Cloves.
Cloves, okay.
And then the cocoa.
Okay.
Mix. that together good.
So we're doing kind of like with the wet and dry separate.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
And then we're going to add that. Normally we'd probably cream this just a little bit longer than we
Okay.
did. Let's see if I can do this without turning your kitchen into a total disaster area.
Oh, I think you'll do just fine.
Um,
So you just went to Niagara Falls, I
yeah,
understand.
it was wonderful. It was another one off of our bucket list. Every other year we try doing a bucket list vacation, and that was one.
And they were beautiful.
Out of our window, the falls were there.
Oh.
We told them we wanted a falls view, and then we asked when we got there, do we have a view of the falls? And they're like, the bellman kind of chuckled, because when he opened our room, it was there.
Wow,
I mean, it was
how
just-
neat is that? Oh, I've never
Absolutely
been,
gorgeous.
but always that's on my list too.
We were on the Canadian side, so I had to get my passport for the first time.
Oh yeah?
And that was like, I was disappointed though, they didn't stamp it on the way in or out.
No?
I wanted to get my first stamp.
Oh, you should have asked.
Is that what you got to do?
I don't know.
I just assumed it was an automatic
Yeah,
thing.
who knows?
Gonna mix that up good. and
Maybe they
then we
forgot.
add the,
In goes your zucchini then.
In
About
goes
how
your
much
zucchini.
shredded zucchini?
it's 2 cups.
2 cups.
Now, I have been known to freeze my zucchini.
We were just talking about
and
that.
I freeze it grated.
Freeze it grated,
freeze
but
it grated.
uncooked. So there you go. Abby, my producer, was just asking
Yeah.
about it. And then it's used for baking, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It-
I use it in soups that way too,
Oh,
though.
really? Okay.
For my minestrone, that always has my shredded zucchini in it.
Oh, okay.
So, do we have a?
Of course we do.
Thank you.
Does that work for
yeah,
you?
that's perfect. Thank
Okay.
you.
Spatulas. I knew what she was talking about.
We've been together long enough
Yep.
doing this that you
Yep.
know what I meant. You've been working in the kitchen long enough that you know what I meant.
So the nice thing about this is you can sneak the zucchini in there, and the kids won't even know it's there. But it really does. It's adds some extra fiber, and it's going to keep this really nice and
And it
moist.
adds moisture. It
Yeah.
adds lots. I mean, look how moist that batter is. And the nice thing about this cake is that you don't even have to frost it.
I like that because I'm not a big fan of frosting,
Well,
unless it's really good homemade stuff.
I think I just got chocolate zucchini cake on my elbow. Okay.
The danger of doing
yes.
this.
That is why I don't wear white.
And preheat the oven to what temperature?
350.
Okay.
And then we're going to take the chocolate and the nuts and just sprinkle it on top.
Chocolate chips, and it looks like we've got
Walnuts.
crushed walnuts. If you didn't do nuts, can you leave those out?
You could. My neighbor actually brought some over by me the other day that she made, and they don't do nuts, so she just did a sprinkling of the granulated sugar on top,
Ooh.
which kind of gave it a nice little sweet crust on top.
Oh yeah. Or my producer Abby just said, what about toffee bits? Ooh, those would be good. Mm.
Or even you could even use butterscotch chips
Oh,
instead
yeah.
of chocolate would be
Ooh,
good on here
ooh.
too.
So into the oven it goes.
350, and it's for 35 to 40 minutes toothpick test.
Okay,
But
perfect.
make sure you're not testing where you've got the chocolate chip melting,
Right,
because
right,
it'll look
right.
like it's not done when
There you go. Oh, that looks fantastic. A great way to use up zucchini for
Yeah.
sure. Coming up, Christine's going to stick around and make one of her favorite soup recipes, perfect for fall. So we'll be back. Stay with us.